they're doing a good job with how they're running their actions and how they're setting him up. So we just had to try to take his space away. And the other way you do that with a crafty, bullet quick guy like that is you gotta double him. And that's risky because they have pick and pop 3-point shooters, they have screen roll guys. They've got a really good team. We have 7 guys averaging double figures. So we made a decision, we're gonna double him and get him to throw it somewhere else. And then we gotta scramble. And then we've gotta get the rebound. And so he wasn't as effective, and then we also did it at full court. Sadie was really good up there, and Drew was really good in that sequence, and Price and Peyton and Owen were terrific in that stretch. Because when you extend your defense, you're vulnerable, especially with a team that has that kind of quickness and that many shot makers. So you have to be able to get back if they do, break the press, if they do throw it ahead, if they do hit middle and throw opposite. And a couple times they dribbled into the trap box, which is exactly what you want, because then you bring your defense up, you trap at the 10-second line. He stepped out of bounds at one time. It was just a terrific job of applying intense pressure without fouling.
Fran, it seems like we've only played 4 games so far, right? But we're always talking about Drew and Sadie and their ability to impact the game. It really showed late, Drew, with the threes, and as you mentioned in the press. Can you just speak to how they just continue to keep doing it and the impact that they made on the team?
Well, I think Peyton said it the best with regard to Drew. I mean, he's the all-time winningest player in that program's history, Morehead State. I mean, they've had some really good players. Won 27 games last year. I've coached at that level. I know how hard it is to win 27 games. You need a guy like him that can engineer a victory. All right, he started slow throughout the summer. He just kept getting better. He just kept grinding. Instead of making excuses, he just came in and studied. I got this is all new. Okay, yeah, I'm an old guy, but it's all new. Seydou relies more on his innate basketball instincts and his length and his athleticism and his skill set. He still is really green when it comes to knowing where to go and what to do. And sometimes he'll just break a play off, and I'll be somewhat upset with him. But he'll say, I flashed because I thought I was open. And you never want your guys to lose that. You want them to think for themselves, and he's really good in those situations. So those guys provide athleticism, they provide toughness, they both can score, and they both can defend.
Defensively, can you maybe just speak to how much putting on a good defensive performance is like scheme versus just like the effort of like just wanting to be a good defensive team?
Today I think it was more effort, especially in the second half. In the first half, we were okay. I mean, I thought we played pretty hard, but we held them to 34% in the second half. It's a really good team to hold to 34%. So you have to be a connected group. And that's what we talked about at halftime. Okay, we have to be more connected defensively. Because I felt like we were going to be better offensively. We don't miss 7 free throws typically. We don't turn the ball over 10 times. They were uncharacteristic numbers for our team at halftime. And we're still right there. So if we take care of business defensively, make some adjustments, and then execute, and actually we just moved and shared the ball, we were able to score in transition. We didn't really execute our half-court offense very well. But what we did do was attack. And so when you're coming down the stretch, we're in the double bonus. So everybody that gets fouled goes, no one's going to make it. He's got 2 shots. That's a big difference in having to shoot one.
Fran, this is kind of maybe the first game you guys have faced a little bit of adversity, and they responded. What does that say about this team, the way they responded?
Well, I think it speaks to our depth. Josh was not himself. He took a spill in the first half, hurt his wrist, tried to play. He didn't have it, and he's the toughest guy, as tough a guy as I've ever been around. So if he can't go, he can't go. Somebody else has to go. Price was in there and didn't shoot as well, but Price played great. Now you look at Price, but he's a plus 23 for the game. when he was on the floor. So he played defense, he rebounded, he moved the ball, he executed, you know, and hopefully Josh's, you know, injury will be taken care of relatively quickly. Love to see.
I realized that yesterday you talked about neutral site games and what you'd like to do, what you might do. But obviously there was a hunger here to see your guys and with the local hook. But would you consider maybe a game a year in the state of Iowa elsewhere besides Carver?
You know, Beth and I have talked about that. We obviously love playing in Carver, but we have an incredible fan base over here. We've got an incredible fan base in Des Moines. Peyton referenced the Sioux Falls game a couple of years ago. We've gone up there twice. You know, we've got a ton of fans up north that just respond to our team in a way that's just incredible. Like you saw how they responded to our guys. They want autographs, they want pictures, they want to high five you. Same thing happens up in Sioux Falls, and I think we'll have a similar experience over in Kansas City with our fans over in that part of the state. So, you know, that's something we can talk about. I mean, I think, you know, from a business perspective, you know, we've got people that will make those decisions. But, you know, I think overall, if you were at this game, you'd be in favor of that, obviously.
Fran, Owen just kind of seemed like he was a man possessed out there at times tonight. Did you get a sense of that too? Especially.
And I think when he got his tee, I think he got a sense of it. But he came back and controlled his emotions in the second half and dominated. So there's no question that he was going to play. You know, as I said, you know, practice yesterday, he was gassed. You know, so I felt like if we could get 20 minutes out of him, we could get 18 minutes out. You know, and is it going to have to be in and out, in and out, in and out? We got a second foul in the tee, so I rested him most of the rest of that half. So I don't remember taking him out too much in the second half.
All right, thanks, Frank.